big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of waking up on Sunday without football, Kels. What about you?
We 97, 96 days?
Yeah. Was it 96? Yeah, I think we're 96 days. No, we're 95 days today.
Somewhere. We're somewhere in there.
Is that, I got an echo on your end. Is that? Y'all hear echo? We got a little technical difficulties. Maybe something going on because I'm trying to track the stars over here. But welcome, everybody. It's top of the Sunday afternoon. We're going to get it together here eventually. Damn, is there still an echo? I can hear echo. Can you hear echo or no? I hear an echo.
I can't hear nothing.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me. What about now?
Good. I mean, I didn't hear no echo.
I'm hearing it on my end. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, welcome everybody to the show. That's my girl, KELZ. She's got the INTELZ, and there's no echo on her end. It's only on mine. So let me try to tackle this issue over here while we get tapped in. But I just wanted to ask my girl, KELZ, what's up with Shotty in this visor?
So the visor is an almond to Coach Steve Spurrier. And I remember seeing Steve Spurrier when he was the head coach here for Washington. He always rocked a visor. I don't remember it being backwards, but I do remember. Actually, let me take that back. When I used to work for DC Parks and Recreation, he was the coach at that time, and we went to the training camp, the training facility during the summertime, and we went to the Baltimore Ravens because those were the only two, those are the only two sports teams. So we would take the kids for a week to the training camp facility, and they would do like different programs with them and all that other stuff, provide lunch and everything. And Steve Spurrier did wear a backwards visor. That's if it's a good practice. Now, if something goes wrong, that thing will flip over real quick.
Yeah, well, shout out to any Steve Spurrier fans out there. I still got a delay on my end, so I'm going to deal with it. It looks like people in the comments says there's no delay or there's no echo there, so that's all good. But this is listening to Shotty on the visor.
Yeah. So that's a
what is the visor? And is it like an ode to Spurrier?
It actually is a little bit of a ode to Coach Spurrier. So for you guys that don't know, 96 national champs, Florida Gators. I transferred from the University of Kansas days. I had to sit out for a year with the old transfer rules. But he told me that if I went there, that he'd let me wear a headset and be involved and be the signal caller, which was great. What I didn't realize was that what that also entailed was anytime he threw his visor, which was probably 5 to 7 times a game, I was responsible for picking it up. This is a true story. So we're playing a game. I'm signaling plays, and something happens. He's mad. He's pissed off at Danny. Throws his visor, and for some reason I was caught up, and so I didn't go pick it up. And he literally looks at me. He's like, oh. So I went and I picked it up, and he's like, so honestly, that's where I first noticed it. I think I look better in a visor than a hat. It does go back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'm having all kinds of difficulty. I'm still hearing him talk in the background. I can't even hear myself now. I don't know what's going on. It's always being challenging, but let's go ahead and kick it off because I know you got all the intels over there, Kels. Let's talk about some of these DMs that you sent me. What's been going on? What's the word around town? Was Micah Parsons at OTAs?
Nope, and I'm over talking about it.
The media is not.
Well, that's the media.
You know, people, Dallas Cowboy fans want to know, is Micah going to get traded or is he going to get a contract?
Oh,
okay. Well, we can just talk about this guy right here because everybody's talking about this young man right here. Let's talk about our QB2 now. Joe Milton III? Is he now QB2? Is that where he's ranking at?
On paper, yeah. But anything can change as far as QB2 and QB3.
You can talk. I'm trying to figure out this
over
here.
Okay.
Don't be just sitting there looking at me on the live stream. Go ahead and carry it.
I just want to make sure you're straight and you can hear things. But yeah,
Okay,
I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, I think the echoes. I think I got it licked now. No, there it goes.
So, as far as Joe Milton, you can be QB2, QB3. So we don't know yet, but as of right now, the only one that is designated as a number is Dak Prescott. And congratulations to him and his fiance. They just welcomed baby number 2 on May 22nd, Miss Aurora Rain. So welcome to the world. Congratulations to them. So yeah, he's the only one that's designated for the quarterback room.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't. Oh wait, there we go. Maybe I got it fixed. And this shit's driving me nuts over here, y'all. I'm about to cancel the show and restart it because I can't stand hearing the damn echo. I don't know what was going on. I think I unplugged it and plugged it. We troubleshot it all the way down. All right, so back to the show now. Where was we at? We were talking about Joe Milton III, QB2. Everything's on paperwork, but they had a second edition of OTAs this past week, and I know you're here to cover some of the topics and what was going on because I know you sent me a lot of photos rather. So where would you like to kick it off that I tried to, bait you with Micah Parsons and everything else? So where you want to go with it first, Kels?
All right, so we had OTAs last week, the 26th through the 30th. On the 27th, our LB, Jack Sanborn, he has been wearing the green dot helmet. I should have brought my helmet out. I'm sorry. But anyway, okay, y'all, just picture the helmet. In the back of the helmet where the white strip is that goes from head to the bottom of the neck, there is in the middle, a green dot. That is a communicator helmet. It has a computer in it and it has a microphone in it. There's only 2 people that's on the field that will wear it. That will be our QB1 and whoever is the quarterback for the defense. So the only way you can get that green dot helmet, you have to exemplify and possess the leadership of a leader. You have to possess the qualities of a leader. and Jack Sanborn is a vet.
So
And
Jack Sanborn done came in and got greenlit off the bat. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Hmm.
So Michael Parsons, if you're talking about being a leader, during the midst of adversity and all this other stuff, sometimes you have to show out and show up. So
yeah, I'm surprised why Michael Parsons ain't got it, because I was like, man, this guy is new. Does he even know the playbook? How does he get greenlit that quick?
He's a fluke guy.
Oh, okay. We're talking defensively on the defensive side of the ball. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if he wasn't a fluke, somebody else last year, and he wasn't one of a Zimmer guy. He had the green dot helmet on.
Okay.
But you have to possess the qualities and the characteristics of a leader.
What number is he wearing?
Huh?
What number is he wearing?
Sanborn is 57.
57. This guy right here, right? Is this him?
Yes.
Okay. That's, I knew you sent me for a reason. Yeah, that was one of the first ones that you had up. So there's Jack Sanborn. Right? You said Jack Sanborn? That's his name?
Jack Sanborn.
Jack Sanborn, linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Greenlit at OTAs. Is this something that we should be concerned about? Is this something Micah should be concerned about? Let me ask you a question. Who was the green light guy last season? Do you know?
He's not on the team no more.
Okay.
Carlos.
Oh yeah, I know Carlos. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Carlos Watkins. Lee Harrison tapping in says no sound. I don't know. I can hear her. She can hear me. Y'all can't hear us, so I can hear her. You can't hear me. Let me know.
Hold on. Let me go on my phone and go on the thing.
What you mean?
An old IQ test was.
I got sound.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just on his end. Maybe he don't know. Maybe he just woke up from a nap or something like that. Yeah. But who we got next? We told Jack Sanborn is greenlit. So take a look at him. There he is, right there.
So he's wearing the green dot helmet for defense. So he will be in constant communication with when the defense is on the field, he'll have constant communication.
He's communicating. He's
with
the leader.
With the defense and in the offense. So don't be surprised if he is wearing the green dot helmet during the 18-week game period. On the 29th, the Cowboys, it was the Cowboys Community Legends Day, where they welcomed Cowboy legends and their family to join the team for meetings, practices, and more other stuff. So there is a picture of Michael Irvin that I sent you, and he was working closely with our new wide receiver, George Pickens.
There he is right there saying, there it is that way, young fella. Go get the Lombardi. It's that way.
And Drew Pearson was also there. Kenny the Shark Gant was in attendance. Tony Dorsett.
All the old heads come through. All the ring bearers came through. Is that what it was? They're trying to instill some legacy here, some culture, look. This is what it's about right here. That's what it looks like to me. But that's a good move for Shotty to bring in the old heads to show them what real legendary stuff looks like.
Right. And see, and this is my great. And this is just a side conversation. And Charles Haley was there. This is that picture right there. Go back to it. This is our wide receiver room with Michael Irvin. Not that one.
Talking about right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's count them.
Our wide receiver room.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them.
Mm-hmm. I hope
13 wide receivers. How many do we normally carry on a 53-man roster, Kels? 6? 9?
It could be 6.
6? Ooh, a lot of them guys gonna be on the practice squad.
Cowboys will normally stash away some wide receivers.
Yeah, they're all right there. Whoever don't make the team, they're gonna have 6 on stash. Look, they got half a dozen.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. Great picture right there. Appreciate you sharing that with us. So yeah. So they're trying to instill that legacy, all that old stuff in there to them. So what's the word about the Rooks? I mean, what's going on with the Rooks? You hearing any news about the Rooks out there?
Yeah.
Booker is getting them RG1 reps, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go through that now. So let's talk for our head coach. He's continued to bring his energy continues to stand out at practices. He makes sure he touches every part of the field. I did send a few pictures of Shotty on the field. He also makes an intention to get around to every group during position drills, including the rehab group. So he's been very um, present with the players we have in the rehab group. He's very instructive with the guys through the practice, and of course, he's been rocking his visor backwards. Um, he did say this. Yeah, I don't know how many pictures I sent you.
They're saying they still can't hear us. Can YouTube hear us? Some folks said they could hear us.
I can hear because I went on the live.
Okay. Well, let's keep going then, because at a minimum, we'll keep recording. We can repost it if that's the case. So, all right. So, Shotty with his visor backwards, ode to Spurrier. So that's gonna be a new thing. I can see the Cowboys gonna have a whole new damn line of visors at the pro shop if they don't already. I see it coming.
Well, they always sell visors, even with the salute to service, the training camp, and I think they do it for the crucial catch. They do a visor for that.
Oh, okay. So Shorty said she had to come to YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened with Facebook. I don't know. So there's a connection. Maybe it was going on with Facebook when it disconnected or something like that. But we're still streaming live on YouTube, so we'll just keep the show rolling.
So one thing he did say about Tyler Guyton is he said I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Tyler Guyton. He's having a terrific off season, and he's been working his ass off, and he looks great. He also mentioned that he's enjoying watching George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb build their relationship in their time as teammates. The two once again spent some time off to the side on the jug machines, and I think I sent you a picture of them on the jug machine.
On the jug machine.
It's the little padded.
I know you're talking about. I'm trying to find a jug machine. I see him catching. I don't see no jugs. No, just I don't see any jugs. You mean just him catching it, or an actual picture of the jug?
No, it's them two, and the jug machine is like behind them, but it's closer to you, like you people.
Just get it to the stage. We just having all kind of damn difficulties to show. Let's go. Where is the jug machine at? Just tell me when you see it.
Hold on, I'll text it to you.
Well, you said you sent it to me.
I did, but I'm gonna resend it to you.
What you mean?
What I mean is I'm gonna resend it to you while I'm going over this.
Come on.
As you know, our former wide receiver Brandon Cooks, he used to stop before every practice and game and have a moment near the pylons. So our wide receiver Jalen Tolbert, he joined them last year, and he's going to continue this tradition this year. All right, I'm about to send you the picture again. This is Lamb and Pickens on the jug machine. All right.
Oh, that one. Okay. That's a way in the background. I see that photo now. Yeah, that looks like the lineman drills over there. You got me looking for jug machines. They way in the background.
That's called the jug.
Yeah, I know what a jug machine is. I seen that. That ain't no jug machine. That's a lineman sled right there. But anyway, go ahead.
QB1, Dak Prescott. He continues to flash his mobility. Does not look like he's fresh off of a hamstring injury. He charted at 14 for 18 passes with 2 drops from Luke Schoonmaker and CeeDee Lamb. One from our cornerback, Kyer Elam, PBU and missed one on a tough throw down the left sideline. Our running back. So our running back, Miles Sanders, he flashed multiple times during OTAs. He had 2 completions. He had a screen and a swing, and bounced on inside run out for a good gain. Has a spring in his step, and he's a very fluid runner. He worked with first team alongside Javonte Williams. Our new defensive end, Mr. Donovan Ezaraku, who should have went in the first round, but we picked him up in the second, was working in 7 versus 7, dropping in coverage in the flat. He looks very natural, and he's going to be a threat and a menace for this season. Tons of quick game with the offensive line, the offensive line with all 3 QBs. Large handfuls of hitches, curls, swings, screens, and crossers. Side note: some of the things that Dak Prescott is good at is hitch routes, curl routes, cross routes, and screen routes.
I think we got the Facebook thing licked, but is Dak Prescott, is he still developing? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's what the media was saying. I think we're live on Facebook now. I think I finally got it licked. So welcome everybody back to the show.
No.
But you're talking about what he's good at. You said what he's good at, right?
No, but what I said before that was he looks like he's not fresh off of a hamstring injury.
That's outstanding news. I mean, he's obviously tracking well ahead of that. And
So,
I think we had anticipated him coming in. He's going to be a full participant probably in training camp, right?
Right. Okay. So what I was saying is some of the things that Dak Prescott is known for and what he's good at is hitches, hitch routes, curl routes, screen routes, and cross routes. What is George Pickens very good at? Hitch routes, curl routes, screen routes, cross routes.
Well, it looks good on paper right now, but we've got diva mentality and media and everything. I mean, we got a long ways to go. I want to wait till we see them in camp.
Here's the thing.
I want to see them in camp. I want to see them in camp together. That's what I want to see.
But what I'm saying is we've seen it on the field with
of
Dak
course.
Prescott.
Of course, yeah. No, I'm not arguing with the tape.
And I've seen it on film with George Pickens.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not hard. There's no argument there. It looks good, and if it is good, it's gonna be good because who can you stop when it comes to both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the field? I think a lot of defensive coordinators.
That's why that was a good trade.
Well, yeah, I think Jerry knew exactly what he was doing when you said pushing for the Eagles or banner night to go up there and spoil them with George Pickens and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Like it. A historical night on Thursday Night Football. I think you said we were 95 days. We're Chad Hennings away. I'm excited about the chemistry, but it looks good on paper. I just need to see it.
Well, I've seen it, so I'm looking forward to.
I need to see them together.
Yeah,
I need to see them with my own eyes. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing them combine together because when we wasn't able to have those routes last year because we didn't have
because CD's getting doubled and we don't know who's going to in the pass rush, the offensive line, all that.
And we didn't have like a true wide receiver too that would do that. So with bringing him in, that's going to take a lot off of CD.
Bringing Pickens in has got him back being him one and him 1A on him one and him one. I guess.
So it was a much more consistent day for QB Joe Milton, which was a little bit better than last week's OTA availability. He was more consistent. He charted at 7 for 8, one throw behind Brevin Spanford, which is our tight end. A highlight came on a 40-yard pass to Ron Flournoy for a touchdown, and Will Greer was 3 for 3. When it comes to our cornerbacks, individual drills, Deron Bland Kaman Hall and Israel Makwamu, as well as Zion Childress. They worked as a slot corner group. Wanye Thomas and others saw time in 11 versus 11 and 7 versus 7. Our running back rookie Jaden Blue, he had some kickoff return burn during the 29th OTA. So that's going to take some off of Kavontae Turpin too, which means they're going to put Kavontae Turpin in some gadget plays. So by us having another kickoff returner,
just think about that. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Kavontae Turpin. Just think about that. Vic Fangio got to be pulling out whatever little hair he's got left. But you know, there was
and to piggyback to what you're saying, and to also put a pin in it, Vic Fangio is going to have a hard time try to come up with schemes because he does not have a shoddy Clayton Adams playbook for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, there's no tape out there. I mean, it's going to be a mystery game. Banner night, yeah. I see them catching a big fat ass L. That's what I see. But there was a couple of interviews that I clipped, and I wanted to go through this Joe Milton while you was talking about Joe Milton. Joe Milton was asked, was he surprised when he got traded to the Cowboys? So y'all can tap in and listen in what Joe Milton said.
Pretty much it.
Were you looking for a fresh start somewhere? Like, did the trade catch you by surprise? What sense do you make of it?
Yes, it did catch me by surprise. Was I surprised? Yes. I kind of woke up around like 7 o'clock, woke up to a call, and I knew I was getting traded. And, you know, only thing I could have done only thing I did at that moment was thank God. You know, I'm blessed. So coming here was a blessing. I didn't know it was going to be here. My agent said it was multiple teams that called, so I didn't know where I was going to end up. I was just thankful to go somewhere.
Why are you blessed to be here? What was it about?
Man, back in the heat, for one. They allowed me to play in the dome. For two, for three, it's America's team, and then also it's just great to learn from somebody like that.
Ooh, haters not gonna like that. He said it's great to learn from somebody like that. He said he was surprised, but blessed.
That was a wrong move that the Patriots did. They shouldn't have drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. Did you see his eyes light up when he said, you know, why are you happy to be here? And he just lit up. So it's good to see that our potential QB2, potential Dak replacement here in a couple of years, maybe. Joe Milton III out there on his interview with the media there. That was back on the first round of OTAs. But we got another round of OTAs coming up with clips coming out from the media too as well. And I've also got a little clip here that will show in a little bit of DeMarvion Overshown to the critics on his second rehab. But what else you got from OTAs out there going down, Kels?
All right, let's talk about Mr. Sam Williams. Of course, he tore his ACL in the first week of training camp last year, and he looks very close to a full return. He's going to be active in training camp and mandatory OTAs that's coming up real soon. So he was very active with the rehab group. He looks great physically, and so be prepared to see him in action.
Oh, look, we got a little royalty among us here. We got Isaac Smooth Barron in the building. Y'all know him. He makes those videos out there of the Eagles fans. I love all your videos, Isaac, that you do of them damn Eagles, because that's the team I hate the most, baby. So keep sticking it in their eye out there, baby. Appreciate you tapping in here with us today.
Yeah.
Small world.
So
but back to Sam Williams. Yeah, it's good that Sam Williams is tracking on the recovery, right? So we getting Sam Williams back with a Jack Sanborn greenlit, Micah Parsons. I mean, you got to be excited just folks being healthy at the Cowboys, because I know we had all the injuries under the sun last year, including everybody else. But man, it's good to get some of these injured folks back, especially like a Sam Williams. We need to be able to stop the run. I mean, there's folks still saying we need to go get a one tech or something like that, or we need to go get a defensive tackle. I thought we drafted one. The best one in the NFL draft was
We got 2 of them. We
one
got
on with
2
the Samoan kid. What's his name? Joa. What's his name?
Jay Toia.
Yeah, Jay Toia. Yeah, I'm like,
and Tommy King Basote.
so you're not with that. Let's go get another defensive tackle noise that's going on right now.
Maybe they're looking at as far as the veteran, like veteran presence.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's all love, baby. Appreciate you tapping in, dog.
So our starting LBs with the ones were 2 off-season acquisitions, which is Jack Sanborn and Kenneth Murray Jr. So you will see them as our starters for our linebacker starters group. And speaking of our linebacker, Mr. Jack Sanborn, who again is wearing the green dot helmet, he's seen a healthy amount of work with the ones in OTA. There's already a pre-established trust from the defensive staff.
Man, I didn't know this much about Jack Sanborn, so this is all news to my ears. So if you didn't know about Jack Sanborn, this is some major developments right here inside INTELZ with my girl KELZ and Jack Sanborn, new guy on the block, greenlit on Eberflus's defense.
So the one thing I can say is, even though the Chicago Bears team has been rough around the edges, as far as the quality of work and stuff, they came out when Flus was the head coach. I've seen film and tape on Jack Sanborn. He was a dominant dog for linebackers on the Chicago Bears defense.
And Eberflus apparently loves the linebackers, right? He's like that's his go-to deal right there.
Yeah, he's a linebacker guy, and sometimes he'll dibble and dabble in special teams, but he's a linebacker dude.
Okay. Well, speaking of injuries, there's another interview I wanted to share with y'all that I clipped, and it's our guy, Agent Zero. He says a couple of things about critics on his second rehab injury. Let's hear what he got to say.
Every opportunity I done got to play on the field, I done showed people what I can do. So if that's still a question to some people, then I just say turn on the tape. Of course, I want to play a full healthy year. I want to be healthy. That's what's best for my team, and I know it's best for my career. So, like I say, I ain't got this rehab is actually easier than the first one. First one, I was going into blindly, like not knowing what the NFL was. I know I can play in the NFL now.
Ooh, talking about Sam Williams' return, talking about a Demo return, man. You got to be excited about this defense, especially with what Eberflus is talking about with these linebackers. So, a healthy defense, man, that's just going to be a blessing within itself.
Yeah. And let's see. But like I said, even with all the stuff that Shotty is doing, I can't wait to see it translate on the field.
Same. Yeah, because it all sounds good. It looks good. Like I said, George Pickens looks good on paper. This culture stuff sounds good. I mean, if you weren't paying attention,
go back to that picture right here.
I shared with you a couple of days ago that CD had dropped a pass from Dak Prescott, and he, I heard this from Mike Fisher over there. Shout out to the fish and all the fish heads over there. That he, CD had dropped a pass, and he got down and did some push-ups. But then George Pickens came over there and joined CD in doing push-ups. I mean, I thought this guy was a diva. That don't scream diva to me. That screams culture. I mean, have the guys already bought in to this visor visionary?
Well, CD, he when he first came out, he did have a little diva moment, but he kind of piped it down. But this picture right here in particular was Shotty. He was working with our wide receivers group, and he was implementing some new schemes and plays, and was showing the our role what kind of routes to do on certain plays. So Shotty has been he reminds me of when we had Chris Richard on the team, and
I remember Chris Richard, he was feisty, man.
And Chris Richard, he was on the field. He'll put cleats on, and he'll get grime and gritty with with not only the secondary but the entire defensive line. So this is what Shoddy reminds me of when he's all over the field.
Well, let me ask you this question. So we got offensive coordinator Clayton Adams. I mean, and Shoddy's been the offensive coordinator before. Is it been put out who's calling plays yet this season when it comes down to this Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb led offense?
Honestly, even though Shoddy said that he's going to be the main one calling plays and stuff, it's going to be a group effort.
Okay.
Because I think he's not going to take the same approach that McCarthy did.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you shared that with us here, there was some dissension between McCarthy and Shoddy when it came to play calling. A lot of Cowboy fans, including myself, and I think you included, had questions about this offense in terms of, is it predictable or what? But speaking about offense, I've been hearing some good things about our guy Tyler Guyton, the guy that led offensive penalties last year for the Dallas Cowboys. What were you hearing about our guy Tyler Guyton out there in the trenches? Anything good? Because that's Steele right there. Yeah, this is going to be the battle of who's who right here, right?
Well, no, because they're on different sides. I want Tyler Guyton to be in his natural position, which is on the right instead of the left. If that means Terrence Steele got to go, then I'm ready for Terrence Steele to go anyway. But that's just me.
Well, speaking of Terrence Steele, I mean, everybody, me included, last year we talking about June 1st cap cut, and here we are, June 1st. What's the word on any post June 1st cap cut?
He's still under contract.
Okay, so there's not any potential cap casualties coming for the Dallas Cowboys, because I think we're plus 30 million or something like that in the bank right now, right?
Yeah,
right. I think somebody had a question on here. Were we going to make any trades? Let me get back to that question. Somebody asked a good question a while ago. He says, "You guys think we're going to make another trade?" Because Jerry did say there was 2 trades. What are you hearing in terms of any potential trades? Anything on any intels on that?
We have until November 4th. So anything
we know that, but I'm saying, we got anything new? Like, hey, I know you can't give us a little bit of something.
No.
Man, Kels is playing rough ball with us today, fellas. But okay, I got you. Yeah, I've been hearing some good things about our guy Tyler Guyton, because I know this offensive line is going to have to get itself together. But hearing that Tyler Booker, speaking of the Great Wall of Tyler Booker is getting them RG1 reps, or the first team reps. How do you see this line shaping up? You said Steele's on one side, Guyton's on the other. Like, who do you see? Who's your way too early offensive line looks right now?
All right, so left guard, Tyler Smith. Left tackle, Guyton. Center, BB. Booker, right guard, right tackle. I would say if Steele can't get it together, then it's going to be Awesome Richards.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Awesome might be a good potential. Did you say Tyler Smith? Was Tyler Smith in there too?
Tyler Smith is left guard.
Okay, left guard. Got you. Yeah, the Great Walls of Tyler. So, all right, there's Kel's way too early predictions right there, because, we got this mortgage on Dak Prescott, and, rent is due this season. I mean, with George Pickens now, it's no excuses. Everything looks good on paper. Everything sounds good in OTAs, but we got another round of OTAs coming up this week. The 2nd and 3rd, they're going to be back in OTAs again. We'll recap that here with y'all. And then also that following week, we got that veteran mandatory minicamp.
Yeah.
So is Micah Parsons going to report to mandatory minicamp? Let us know in the comments below, as he was not at OTAs and he got greenlit. I mean, if I'm Micah Parsons and I'm looking at Jack Sanborn coming in, this is just me. If I'm a leader and this is my team and I'm a dog, I'm looking at Jack Sanborn like, how he could, I should be asking myself, why am I not the guy greenlit?
You got to look at yourself in the mirror. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, if I'm Micah Parsons right now, I'm looking in the mirror saying, how does a guy come in like Jack Sanborn and get greenlit? Is that because Eberflus worked with him before? Is that what it is? Maybe it's a good old boy network?
No, because we had Carlos, what's his name? Carlos Watkins. He wasn't a Zimmer guy, and he had the green dye helmet on last year. You have, my thing is, mean what you say, what you mean what you say. So, Michael Parsons, you already know some of my issues I had with him when he first came onto the team and all this other stuff on how he is as far as character wise and everything. If you're gonna be about it, be about it.
Well, I mean, what is he doing if he's not in OTAs? What is he really doing?
It's not
that's more
OTAs.
Important if he's not there. I mean, we can't forget this is voluntary though. Also, because there's an argument it's voluntary.
But the thing is, it's not only OTAs. It's the way that perception is everything. So take away the off season. Some things he's been doing, some things even during the regular season, during the games, that does not possess leadership qualities. As far as like throwing a B fit, I can't say what I want to say because my mama is right. Is like 3 feet away from me. Stop having a B fit on everything. When you come in contact with people, stop giving a negative energy like you don't want to be bothered with them. Hence, the fan zone takeover in Miami in a few CSA shows that he has been in, where he act like, yeah, okay, you're paid to be there, all this other stuff. People pay hundreds of dollars to see you. It doesn't hurt to have humility. Humility is free. So all that, and when you hear and you see people talk about the way it is, and then when it gets to the star, because even though the star is big, the star is still small, because you never know who will come in contact with you. So if you want to wear the green dot helmet, show what it takes to be a leader.
Kale's cutting deep right here. My guy B-Mac tapping in. He say, just pay the man. But Kale said, we got to November 4th.
Nobody is saying taking his money. But if you want to be a leader, I'm tired of seeing him on every interview and all this other stuff. And you say that you want to be better and you want to, be a leader.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me just preface this. Now that you've shared that, thank you for your insights there. I agree with you 100%. Like, if I'm Michael Parsons right now, just like I asked you, Jack Sanborn, who's this guy? He came first year, he greenlit. What? Like, this is major developments, especially from a leadership standpoint, where Mike has been in the media talking about he wants to be on that leadership side. But let's hypothetically talk right now. We got mandatory minicamp coming up June 10th through the 12th. That's in about 9 days. What is everybody going to say, especially Micah, if he does not show up? Is it now become it's a contract thing? Because I kind of think that's what's going on why he's not there now. But that's
now with that, as we can say right now, this is voluntary OTAs.
Correct. But leadership.
Right. I would say come to 2 or 3. You're not like Dak Prescott where you had a baby to pop out and you missed a few days. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Dak was at camp last year with no deal.
Yeah. His fiance had
leadership.
Fiance had baby number 2.
Yeah, Dak could have got her in camp. Dak could have got her in camp last season and been finito in the NFL.
Right. So
before he got a contract.
Right. And that's the thing. Dak has been, I remember when Dak showed up the last year of his rookie contract and he was only making $685,000 a year. Don't ask me why I know this brother's contract. This is what he was making on his rookie deal, $685 million. And it's
because everybody was clowning him because they said Zeke was taking him around and buying him stuff because Dak didn't have that much money.
No, because he wasn't and the thing is, Dak Prescott was a 4th round compensatory pick.
Correct. And he only got into the starting lineup by way of injury of Tony Romo.
And Kellen Moore.
And Kellen Moore, yeah, there's 2 broken ankles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, Dallas Cowboys history off 2 broken ankles.
So Kellen Moore came in, he got hurt, ACL training camp. Tony Romo got hurt week 2 of preseason.
BMAC is bringing up a great point here because Micah has been in the media saying he don't like that iPad stuff. That may have something to do with the green dot. I don't know. Maybe we're just pulling shit out of thin air here. But he already said he's not good with the tablet stuff, so him not calling plays might not be the best idea anyways.
But the thing is with what the tablet shows, it shows instant replay. These tablets are not designed like my iPad or any other tablet. These are specific.
Yeah, you turn it on, it just push this button to look at playbook, push this button to do this. Yeah, it's real simple.
It's not like your typical tablet. So if anything were to happen on the field when it's time for your team to come off, the defense time to come off, you can see what happened during this play, during this route, and what can we do to improve it if we were to run this route again in the scrimmage line on the next series. So if you're not good at it, maybe you need to show up during team meetings and all this other stuff. But I'm going to leave that there. And we still got some more OTA notes.
Before you get to that, let's just give a quick shout out. Shout out to all the green badges. Yeah, shout out to all my green badges. As he talks about green dots here today. We had a green badge, took the champ this season. Megan Shardy, that's right. She got her hands on Drew Pearson in the month of May. Here is our top 5 centers for the month of May on Build Different group on Facebook. So thank you if you're giving stars. I'm in my 88 fever. I'm in my 88 zone. I got another 88 to give away. But shout out to my girl Megan on winning this. She won some cups this month and she won Drew Pearson. So congratulations on top stars.
And and one thing I want to say before we get finished with the news and notes, I'm not throwing no shade or no shot on Micah Parsons.
No, it's straight facts. Like leadership means presence.
Yeah, and I call it like I see it. Like I said, I had plenty of interaction with Micah Parsons to know. But like I said, I call a spade. I call a spade a spade. I was very vocal about how I felt about Tony Romo. Like I never wanted us to sign him as an undrafted free agent. It's a lot of people I could talk about it.
Jerry took a lot of chances on a lot of players, and I think he's kind of scaled that back a little bit.
Right.
Except for Dak Prescott.
At the end of the day, I still give props where props is due. And credit.
Yeah, we're not throwing no shots at Micah Parsons. I'm just saying straight up, if I'm Micah Parsons and I'm the dog on this, fuck all that, all that leadership. If I'm the dog, if I'm him, I'm in control. But just like in leadership, there's always 2 types of people. There's those in control and those in charge. And you got to be able to line both of those up. So maybe this might be designed on Eberflus, as Mike has also put out in the media. He don't like that iPad stuff. So maybe the folks at the Star understand that too, because Sterling just straight taking shots at my guys, saying Parsons football IQ not that good. I don't know how you measure that. They got to take the Wonderlic test. They still do that?
I can ask.
BMAC says, I would prefer him to be there as also. I'm not making any excuses for him. Yeah, it's voluntary. We get it. But there's the argument of leadership. Now, Mike has inserted himself into this conversation when he says, I'm not big on this iPad stuff. Yeah, but I'm big on OJT. But that's
my
kind
thing
of
is
because
he needs to stop
how do you get OJT if you're not good at the iPad, but you're not at OTAs?
But my thing is you need to stop using that tablet as an excuse. Stop. That's not your
Thank you. Sterling says that green dot like QB. Yeah, everybody knows on offense, QB1 is in control.
Yeah.
More developments on this. I like this. This is getting kind of spicy over here. This is good. This is good for development. So what else have we got coming out of the OTAs over there?
So our wide receiver George Pickens, he didn't have any targets during team drills, but he looked fluid and comfortable with all of his teammates in individual drills. He's still learning the Cowboys playbook. He has earned praise from his coaches early on with how he's attacked the playbook and routine in Dallas. And I'm gonna put a pin in it right there real quick. Some of the teams that we're playing this year, George Pickens has had contact with them either in professional football during his tenure and or college, and he knows their strengths and weaknesses, which will play good for our defense. So he has been dropping some T to floops.
I like it. I like how we got. I love how Jerry got us lined up against Philly because no tape on, shoddy. Now you throw George Pickens. I mean, Jerry did say there was a second trade. I know we talked 1-2s, but hey, we got November 4th. But who knows? They may surprise us. We got mandatory minicamp coming up here on the 10th and the 12th. And the next alligator to the boat closest for me is if Micah Parsons is going to show up. I need to know if you're not if you're a leader dog and you're not at mandatory minicamp, we're going to have some tough discussions here. But I'm happy about this GP. I'm happy. All this stuff looks good, man. Can we just keep everybody healthy? That's gonna be
that's the main thing. And our running back Miles Sanders, he had 2 receptions. He had a screen and a swing, and he had a nice gain on an inside run that he bounced to the edge. Our other running back, Javonte Williams, he had 2 receptions and a good gain on an inside run. Also got loose on a wheel route, which is one of his known routes down to the sideline. Our safety, Donovan Wilson, or Dono, he has been working with the rehab group for the last couple of weeks during OTA's availability. He has had an off-season knee procedure that isn't viewed as anything too major, and he should be ready to go for camp. Our kicker, Brandon Butter Aubrey, he has brought some good vibes and the kickoff drills to OTAs because I think they made a couple of changes to the kickoff rule as well as the onside kick. I have to go back and look into that. Our cornerback, Deron Bland, he spent a majority of his time in the slot, as I mentioned before, during the 11 versus 11 and 7-on-7 periods. When he is lined up outside both of our cornerbacks, Kaman Hall and Wanye Thomas, they also saw reps there. Our new linebacker that was drafted, Shamar James, he was absent from the May 29th practice. There was a heavy rotation across the board with the first team defensive tackles and edges, which is Dante Fowler, Marshawn Nealon, Peyton Turner, and Donovan Azaraku. They all got time at defensive end, so they will be flip-flopping between DT and edges. Our safety, Dono, cornerback Josh Butler, and Sam Williams spent time with the rehab group because they're both rehabbing from ACLs. I forgot what Dono was. Our third round pick for this year's draft, Savon Revel Jr. and Demo and tight ends John Steven, they were also in the group. It looks like they will be ready for training camp on PUP, but no timetable when they will be active for the regular season. Speaking of Demo, he is ahead of the pace he had 2 years ago in his return from an ACL tear. He's also coming back with the from an MCL and PCL tear. And like I said, no definitive timetable to reserve, but he did say there's no need to rush the process. He's going to come back when he's 100% ready.
Who was that on?
Demo.
Oh, Demo. Yeah. No, I think he says, yeah, he's feeling good about it. If you take a look at that last interview, but yeah, he's tracking definitely. So.
And that's all I have.
Well, shout out to KELZ with the INTELZ there. She wraps it up. Let's go back to this wide receiver room here because Vondale's tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. He says, I'm saying it here first. For some reason, I think Mingo, our 4th round pick, is going to have a good year. What does that mean for our guy Jalen Tolbert right here? Because he's like kind of y'all man out since George Pickens has came in. Because I was thinking, you know, Mingo was going to be wide receiver 2 also. I know Tolbert was there and made some great catches last year, especially that game-winning catch against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But who you think is going to be wide receiver 3? It's going to be Lamb, Pickens, and who you got? You got Tolbert or you got Mingo?
I would put Mingo only because we have to justify that 4th round trade.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't the case, Mingo is a blocking receiver, so I could see him in the back. If Clayton Adams and our wide receiver coach, oh God, his name's slipping. If they were to do
Junior Adams,
Junior Adams. If they were to do maybe an 11 or 12 personnel, I would have Pickens. I would have Pickens on my left, CD on my right. No, take that back.
I mean, because Tolbert could do that. I mean, you got to think about it because, I mean, this is going to be, you know, who you going to guard first?
This is what I'm going to have. I'm going to have Pickens on my right. I'm going to have CD running a slot or a slant. I'm going to have Mingo coming on the left back end a little bit behind Dak and let him shoot to the outer left after he blocks and he's able to get through. I don't even trust him with Guyton on that side.
Sterling's tapping in. He says, I see Mingo in certain packages, but wide receiver 3 is Tolbert.
So Sterling, you see how my mind is working. So I don't want Mingo. So I would have CeeDee Lamb on the left and have him run a slot or a slant. But I would have Mingo on the right in the back and have him juke out after he blocks and he can get past Booker. That's how I would do it.
BMAX says, I'm thinking they split time at the early end. By Thanksgiving, we all have a solid wide receiver 3. I mean, anything could go because I'm telling you.
Then I also look at like
you still talking about Cavante. We ain't even talked about Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, and if I'm Shoddy, if I'm thinking in a Shoddy mind, I'm thinking he's going to place that 53-man roster for each game based on the teams we're playing. That's how I'm thinking how he's going to maneuver. So if we have heavy hitter teams like
Philadelphia Eagles,
Philly, and you might as well say Washington, Detroit, who else we got on the roster? Who else we got?
All of them, like we're in the top. I mean, we're like the 6th strength of schedule in the league. NFC East is in the top 8, so pick your poison. Yeah.
So if we're looking at Philly,
I like how you sound right there, Vondell. I want people to be scared of our offense. Yeah.
Right. So
Dak and scary in the same sentence. Ooh,
So
could you imagine it this season?
So I'm thinking with Philly, if I'm not Philly, with Shoddy, he's going to base, because even though the thing is, on whatever date that I gave you when that roster has to be fully done, I think it's that Monday or that Tuesday, August 25th or the 26th, whatever that day is, at 4:00. They just going to submit 53 people. They're going to stash away 13 to 16 players. But when it comes to week 1, that whole 53-man roster is going to change. They still just have to keep 53 man plus the QB3 emergency on deck. So if we're looking at Detroit, Washington, you might as well say Washington.
Green Bay, somebody threw up Green Bay. Shout out to my guy Chris Teckle. Yeah, Green Bay. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, Philly. Probably the Broncos. Like heavy-hitter teams like that.
B-Mac is picking up what you put down. He said, "Yeah, I got you, Kels. We picking that 53-man roster according to who we are playing. Yeah, match up your thy enemy."
Yeah, so if we have like a heavy team, let's say like Detroit, and they got Aiden Hutchinson, I could see them activating Jonathan Mingo on that game, because he is a solid over 6-footer, over 650-pound dude.
These are good problems to have, y'all. Now we can remain healthy, because if we remain healthy, I mean, y'all seen that wide receiver group. Let me just go back to it. Kel shared a picture of us here with who was with the wide receiver group, you said? In that photo? Yeah, Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin came out during the second round of OTAs and was kicking it with the wide receiver unit. I mean, 6 of these guys got to go to the practice squad.
Yeah.
And Tolbert's like Mingo. We're talking about Tolbert and Mingo for wide receiver 3. Remember going into the draft, y'all? I mean, these are good problems to have. Remember going into the draft, we were like, we need Tedero McMillan. We need a wide receiver 2.
And they could bring 6 wide receivers on the 53-man roster.
Yep. Shout out to Joe Tranchina. We see you, baby. Hey, I'm in the gym, man. We in the gym right now. Appreciate you joining. He says, don't forget Jaden Blue will be used as a receiver. He's very fast. Yeah, we said Jaden Blue.
We mentioned that because I don't know when you came into the show, but I did mention that Jaden Blue has been doing some kickoff returns in OTAs. But the thing is, he's going in listed as a running back. So he's going to be on the field and he's going to be on special teams. So if he's on special teams, then he will be used as
a returner.
As a return receiver.
But why? When we've got the best returner in the game with Cavante Turpin, why would
because if they're planning on using Jaden Blue like that, because that's the same way like they did with CeeDee Lamb, which I thought was stupid. Like what they did with Dez Bryant when they first was drafted. They used both of them as kickoff returners. Luckily, it didn't happen with CeeDee Lamb, but Dez
wasn't that Dez's first play of his career was a punt return for a touchdown?
And he broke his toe. Ugh. So that wasn't a good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we got Cavante. Why would Blue get some of Cavante's reps though? I mean, we just repaid this guy too.
But the thing is not only that. What I said earlier was by Jaden Blue doing that, that's also going to give Junior Adams and Clayton Adams and Shoddy some room to do special gadget packages for Cavante Turpin. So you still have to
because if you put him out there and then you got think about this. If I'm Vic Fangio and I see CeeDee Lamb on one side and I see George Pickens on the other, and you still got Jake Ferguson, you still got Jaden Blue, maybe, and then you got who is this? Cavante Turpin, the best returner in the league, as your gadget guy. I mean, Joe's gonna have his hands full, and I ain't even talking to Eagles fans, but I know they lost a lot of defensive
This
players.
is what I want. This is what I want.
Shit is shaping up to be a L on banner night. If you ask
this
me.
is what I want to do. And when I say I am a football diva, I'm a football diva. It's okay to do 11 personnel and 12 personnel. I want to see a 13 personnel and a 14 personnel. What a 13 personnel is, you have all running backs. Take the wide receivers out. Put the running backs in.
Some jumbo packages. Maybe running some Luke and some Schoonmaker and some Ferguson, some Jake at the same time.
No, I'm gonna go to that. The 13 personnel. You have 3 running backs and 1 tight end. So you have whatever your picks of running backs, and that's where I would get Deuce Vaughn in, because Deuce Vaughn is known for disappearing into a line and bursting out, and people don't know where he's at.
Speaking of Deuce Vaughn,
so that's why I like with Connor Rowley and Clayton Adams. They can get real shifty and shifty with Deuce Vaughn by Connor coming from Kansas State.
So you see Deuce Vaughn still making the squad?
I can see him making the squad. If they do a 14,
I mean, it's tough. You got 2 OGs, you got 2 rooks, and then you got the outcast Lipke and Deuce.
Yeah. Now, if they do that 13, I will put Jaden Blue and I will put them shorties in there. I will put Deuce and Blue in there, and then put Phil Maffa on, because
he's a bowling ball.
He's a bruiser.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's been some reports, folks putting cheese on it with, saying Javante's like beast mode.
Yeah, I would have him coming out the backfield. Now, if you do the 14 personnel, then that's all tight ends. I will have Brevin Spanford. I will have John Stevens. If he's ready to go, I will have Stephen Fant. I will have all them big boys, and I will have Fergie.
Yeah, B-Max, she's saying she believes that, Deuce is going to make the 53-man roster, because that's what we're going to get to after we get through this mandatory minicamp. The goal is to get to Oxnard so we can try to figure out who's going to make this 53-man roster, because all this stuff looks good and all these minicamps and running around in circles and doing things like that. But we got to put some pads on. We got to find out, where does the rubber meet the road? These are some good problems to have, especially in our wide receiver room. We've gotten some depth. I don't know. There's still a small crowd out there as we get ready to wrap up the show here, Kels. I wanted to touch on this again. There's still a small crowd out there saying we need a defensive tackle. I mean, I thought we drafted one. Why are folks saying we need to go get a defensive tackle?
We need a nose tackle. We need the nose tackle, which is, and I say veteran, because we got 2 that we just drafted, which is Jay Toia and Tommy.
They're saying he's like the best run stopper in the draft in the NCAA last year. They say guy likes to create violence.
Yeah, that's why I said Mozzie, this is year 3, because you got 2 people gunning for you. Now, when it comes to free agency, I don't think they're going to draft. I don't think they're going to trade for a DT. I think they're going to get a DT, a one-tech DT, veteran free agent, maybe that has like 3 years.
Well, maybe what we should do is we get ready to wrap up here. We'll come back on Wednesday on hump day of this week, and we'll talk about the new OTAs that are coming out, because we got OTAs again on the 2nd and 3rd, and then we're going to recap on Wednesday, and then that following week we got mandatory minicamp. So let's come back on Wednesday and let's take a look at who's available in this DT market veteran wise, because Cowboys got a little money to spend. You said we got about 30 million in cap, right?
We got 30 million in cap. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see how much money and fines it will be if you were to miss a mandatory OTA.
Yeah. And Joe Tranchini is right there with us. He says we need a veteran DT. I'm not trusting no rookie named Jay Toia to come in here stopping the run. That's a legitimate argument, because we put a lot of that on Mozzie Smith a couple of years ago. Remember?
But I wasn't too keen on Mozzie Smith, but we have had some rookie DTs that we have drafted that came in and
I
they
think
got
I think
got dirty.
I think Michael was a little more excited about Mozzie than he was Booker, but that's just me anyway. So
I
Lynn's
think
tapping
because
in.
everybody, I think with as far because everybody was expecting a wide receiver and a running back, just like me. But everything, like if you remember that first night of when we did the draft show, and I said some things are changing, some things are changing. So I put it out there.
Yeah,
So
of course. I remember, yeah. Everybody, we know we got receipts here. Lynn says, bottom line is teams hopefully won't know who or when to guard. We have been way too predictable in the past. Thank you. Yeah, Zeke up the middle. First play of every damn season for Jason Garrett. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, like that dissension that you were talking about as we get ready to wrap up and get out of here, that dissension between Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer, hopefully this player, I think that just makes good football sense. Match up your team against who you play that week, right?
Yeah,
like, take your best skill set players and try to take out their best skill set.
And then the thing is, you have it's not I'm not body shaming or anything, because I know some big boys that can run and they be all up the field. But it's a difference when you have someone that is viral, that will move, go from one end to the field and all this other stuff, instead of just holding a Waffle House million on the sideline.
But hey, hopefully we don't see a lot of that. And I'm right there with you, Lynn. I'm right there with you. We don't know what this shoddy offense is going to look like with no matter who is on the squad.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Shoddy in training camp with some cleats on.
Shoddy out there mixing it up. Well, my name is BG. That's my girl KELZ with the OTA round 2 INTELZ. Y'all heard it here first. That green dot. I ain't heard nobody talking about that green dot. Jack Sanborn, green dot lit defensive leader on this team under defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Micah Parsons, where are you? Why are you not at OTAs?
And what I'm gonna do is when's the next show? Wednesday?
Yeah, we're going to recap this next 2 days of OTAs on Wednesday. So make sure to turn on your notifications.
So I'm going to give you an exclusive. I actually have a helmet with the green dot on it.
Ooh. Show and tell with KELZ. That's a new one. Show and tell with KELZ.
So I do have a helmet with the green dot on it. They just took the microphones and the computer software out. So.
Of course. Yeah, that's like training. You know what I mean?
If they would have left that in there,
yeah. But I like it. I like it because you're like me. You can show everybody better than you can tell us. So I appreciate you as always.
I would put that on and be like, yo, Will, can we not run this play?
Yeah, get on the phone. We'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.
Bye.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.